Wow! It's 2 minutes to late night!
All right, what's up, Andy Cap's Hot Fries? Welcome to Pod Minutes to Cast Night, the 2 Minutes to Late Night podcast. Before we get started, we just want to remind you that we have merch for sale at terriercult.com. Go to Friends of the Cult, find all of our shirts. We're going to be debuting some new shirts very soon, but buy the old ones. We got to get rid of them. Thank you so much. Also, please subscribe to our Patreon at honorableswords.com. How we are able to meet up once a week and then also make a new episode about once a month is because of the Patreon money. We have to do a lot of math. None of us are good at math because we're all artists, quote unquote. So, yeah, please help us. We're artists. Help us. We're struggling. Help us.
Put that on my fucking tombstone. Help me, I'm an artist.
Help me, I'm a fucking artist.
I'm just a baby.
Help the baby. Don't you want to help the little baby?
I'm just a dumb baby.
Help
and I
this
can't
dumb
do
baby.
math.
I'm a sexy baby.
No, you're not.
Goo goo.
By law, there's no such thing as a sexy baby.
We also have a cologne for sale.
We also have a cologne for sale.
Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab. They make a scent called Whifflash. It smells like grease paint, oiled leather, and aftershave, which is good.
Pretty close. Good
Yeah.
enough.
What?
Anyway.
What was off?
It's black leather, grease paint,
Which
and
apparently
aftershave.
smells different from brown leather, which I've learned through the process of selling Whifflash.
I'm pretty sure on the website it says oiled leather.
You're here with the 2 Minutes Late Night Writers Room.
You're here with the 2 minutes to late night signature scents.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Hammond, and I smell like socks, Cheetos, and aftershave.
Yes, of course.
Hi, I'm America's sweetheart, Katie Rose Leon, and I smell like spilt soda.
Hi, I'm Jordan Olds, and I haven't worn sleeves all week.
Hey, I'm Drew Kaufman, and I think that Mega Man shits and pisses in his suit. I have a theory.
I thought that was just his body. I didn't know that it was
Yeah, it's
like
the
he's
thing.
like Frieza.
Actually,
Yeah.
I was thinking a lot that because I've been playing that Spidey Man game, and I'm like, does he just have?
Can I come over and play it? Do you have it?
Oh, is
Yeah,
it good?
It's so good. I think, but I'm wondering if he has a catheter or if he's just making a poo-poo doo-doo piss in his suit. And then I was like watching one of those movies. I'm like, superheroes definitely shit their pants all the time.
No, they don't. I have a theory. If you have to take off your mask to eat, then you take off your suit to shit.
No, but like,
But if you have a visible face, the suit drinks piss and shit.
I know, but
Actually, yeah, like the Vision.
Yeah, exactly. Vision shits and pisses inside of his suit.
You're right. And also, if you don't bring that shit up to me that the Vision is like an android and doesn't eat. He's making chicken tikka in the second Avengers movie.
yeah, but he controls his clothes with his mind, so I don't think he's even really wearing
loves to
clothes.
shit.
What about like
He's
But I'm
pushing the
I'm
shit.
talking
And this-
about the tight spandex suity types. I'm just saying, like, your crime fighting takes long hours. Sometimes, you know, you're just gonna let a little turtle head out when
Well,
you're
yeah.
fighting the fucking
I don't
vulture
know.
or
When,
whatever.
when you're searching for the crime, you also probably have that app. What's it called? Like Squatty or whatever.
Oh,
Where
yeah,
you-
uh-huh.
Squatter or whatever, where you like know which restaurants will just let you use their bathroom and how nice it is.
The
They have an app for
three
that.
of you Jews are telling me that you've never almost shit your pants before.
Wait.
Just-
all the time?
I want to.
I'm just saying,
every
if I
day.
could swing into a joint, I probably wouldn't shit my pants.
Wait, hang
I
on.
could swing it.
Wait, so Drew,
Hang on the liberal media because you're misconstruing my story. This
Okay.
is what I'm thinking. Okay. I don't think that Spider-Man doesn't shit or piss his suit.
Yeah.
I think he does it all the time, either by accident or out of, not having a choice. But I think Mega Man's suit is specifically built to piss and shit inside of, and then it turns it into like bubble gum or something. Like, I think Samus Aran has to take off her mask to eat, and therefore she probably takes off her suit to shit and piss.
Oh no, I disagree. I think Samus, if anybody,
Yeah, 'cause
Samus definitely shits
she's
in her
in
suit.
space, so it's
Yeah.
probably designed to take your shit and piss elsewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
It's a spacesuit.
that's
Yeah.
a toilet. She's wearing a toilet.
Yeah.
I don't know
also,
about
is
that.
Mega Man a boy
She's wearing
or
a
is he
toilet and then
robot?
also
He's a man.
gun, but mostly a
He's
toilet.
a Mega Man. He's the
But
only
is
man
Mega
more.
Man a man or a friendly robot?
The only man more mega
'Cause
is our
Ro-
Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Because Roll's a robot.
Who?
Anyway, let's talk about music.
Oh, hi. Okay, yeah. Before, all right. Well, after
Shit
that,
and piss, everybody.
after that, guys, please tweet at us which superheroes you think poopy in their costumey.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna
sooties.
tweet
Poopy
out
in
a
their
poll.
sootie.
I'm gonna tweet out a poll.
Who shits the
asking you,
most?
Well, A, does Mega Man shit and piss in his suit? And B, will be a sub-thread, which will be what superhero shits and pisses in
Jeremy is a co-author on my Nobel Prize essay, so please respond to him.
Fun fact: if Drew and Jeremy put on the Patara earrings, they turn into Dave Barry.
This is
I don't
gonna
know who
be-
that is.
This is what happens when Lucy doesn't
The
come.
comedy writer that my dad
Oh,
loves.
Dave Barry.
Before we get started on this week's album, did anybody listen to anything cool this week? Katie. So they don't talk, please, Katie.
I'm sorry I didn't listen to anything like new that I haven't brought up on the show before.
Oh, well, great news, gang, because I did.
No, fuck you, Jeremy. Fuck you. You don't even say it. You don't even say
Oh,
it, Jeremy.
God. What happened?
You don't
Irony.
even say it. Say it.
What did you ironically listen to, Jeremy?
It was a very genuine listen, and it was a podcast about New York City history.
Oh,
No,
so much
that's
better.
not music. I
It's
said
not
listen to music.
Yeah.
They have music in the intro, it counts.
Jeremy, no, it doesn't. Come on.
Everybody check
Unless
out the
you are
Bowery
Lu-
Boys. They have good content about trains.
Drew.
Fuck you. I listened to something cool. I listened to a band by one of our fans, actually, Carson. He sent me his band, Carson Pace. He's in a band called the Callous Dowboys.
Yeah.
And they're really cool. They're like early 2000s kind of like scene hardcore. Like they sound kind of like heavy low or like.
Cool.
No, but I haven't heard that in
I've
a while.
checked them out.
They're a new band though.
I like them.
I think it's pretty cool that they're making music like that because
I just didn't like your I'm sure I'll like the band. I feel like your description might
it's
be
hard to describe them, but you know, like those bands that like kind of I can't. It's
like
like
Fear Before the March of Flames.
Fear Before March of Flames, like
It's like a version that didn't sound like it was fingering underage people.
yeah, exactly. It's like they sound like Fight Paris without all the misogyny, but it's cool. I don't know, and they're younger than us, and they make music like that. I think that's
Fight
cool.
Paris.
Do you
Oh
remember
my
them?
God.
They were shitty.
Yeah.
They had a song called
Jesus.
"Fuck Me Stilettos." Those guys sucked.
Okay.
But they're cool. This band is cool, and they're not like that. They do have funny names for their songs, which I appreciate because that's like something that got lost
Yeah,
8 years ago.
I like the version of like the early 2000s hardcore that's coming out right now. I like it more than the version we had.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Vane, like that Vane album, I was like, this sounds like what I wish 18 Visions was.
Yeah.
You know, it's great.
Oh, and what's it? I saw this awesome band that called Orthodox Hardcore. They sound like
I'm literally picturing Orthodox.
I
Jews
know.
doing
I found no. Their website is Orthodox Straight Edge at Bandcamp.com, and I was like, Orthodox Straight Edge, is that what sect of Judaism I am? But they're really rad, man. They sound like they got like this crazy like new metal vibe, but they're not new metal. I don't know.
I very briefly
The kids.
had an ironically Hasidic anarcho-punk band called Christ Killer. And
Jeremy.
our whole shit was that we were gonna pay us, but we were gonna dread them. And
Okay,
then we just like
Jeremy,
got bored
we've
of the
been
idea.
threatened by white supremacists before, and this is the first time that I'm like, maybe they're right.
I did what is expected of me. I listened to the new High on Fire, and I am a guitar playing white dude who's almost 30 and living in Brooklyn who has an orange amplifier, so I should love Mac Pike. And my whole life I've only ever been just like, this guy is fine. This sounds like the music he should be playing. This new fucking High on Fire record is the best thing he's ever done.
Oh, yeah.
This is an incredible album. It is so cool. It's everything that I've wanted his stuff to sound like since people told me about it when I was like 15.
Yeah, and
You
it's
know?
also like High on Fire is great because you don't need to have 4 hours to listen to one song.
Yeah.
That's what I like about them.
I like Sleep too. It's just like fine. Yeah, but
It's
the High on Fire album, I want to listen to it all of the fucking time. It sounds like if Motorhead got into UFC. Like they just wanted to beat the shit out of each other
That
professionally.
sounds awesome.
They probably would have lost a lot of fights though.
I don't know. He looks. Matt Pike is starting to look like.
No,
that,
I meant
that
Motorhead.
picture that
Oh,
you.
man.
Oh,
Can you imagine Lemmy in UFC? Just like late in life Lemmy.
I'm sick. That dude had huge arms, man. I don't know. He's got a good reach.
I thought you were talking about Matt Pike. I was like, Matt Pike looks like what that Photoshop you did of Jeremy is.
Matt Pike looks like every person in the movie Snatch photoshopped together, including the pigs.
Anyway, folks, we're finally doing it. We've done too many episodes of this podcast, and we've not once talked about Korn. And so this week we are going to talk about what the internet considers to be Korn's worst album, and it's Korn Untitled. This is Korn after one of their guitarists had left the band to go find Jesus or some shit. And so it's literally just the rest of the members of Korn.
Well, it's also minus the drummer.
Oh, right. Who's opened a sushi restaurant or something.
Wikipedia confirmed.
Yeah, he literally was like, I'm going to be a hibachi chef, and just did that. And they were like, all right, dude.
Is it hibachi or sushi? Get your story straight.
Oh,
I
how
don't
funny would
know,
it be?
because it's California.
It could
It's
be both.
all something owned by a white person.
It could
It's
be
not
both.
fair.
Dude, how fucking funny would that be? Like having one of the Korn dudes with like gigantic long white guy dreads doing like the little onion volcano.
Their drummer was the only one who just didn't have dreads.
He's had like a regular.
Yeah, 'cause they
ass
get-
haircut.
He had like a Mark McGrath haircut.
Well, because you can't have the dreads like dragging along the raw fish, or people are gonna get sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
fair.
I'm sick now.
All right. Well, before we really dive in here, I'm going to start this off by saying that Korn was my first favorite band.
Yeah.
When I was a child, like this was the first. They were the first band that I found that I was like, this resonates with me. And then I like in high school, I completely just like shut it off because I was embarrassed by it. And so
Yeah.
I went into this album really expecting it to be garbage. You guys, come for me. I didn't hate it. I kind of liked it.
I
Well-
actually also didn't hate it.
Well, here's the thing. It's fine, but I was also a huge Korn fan, and I think if you're judging it against other Korn, it sucks. But like in a larger scale, it's like whatever. Like I came into Korn at a similar age. It was very on brand, actually. I used to sit behind this boy in study class named Billy Shore, who had a huge crush on, who he drew and was weird, and I drew and was weird, and I had very long, blonde, unkept hair that I kept under a black ski cap, so I looked like Jay from Jay and Silent Bob. Just to give you guys a full visual of time and place.
Yes.
And just to give you an alternate visual, if it wasn't a black ski cap, it was a headband with cat ears on it.
Yes, you did know me at this time. And so, yeah, I had this huge crush on him, and then I realized he liked Korn, so I went out and, like, bought, like, Life is Peachy and Issues, and I, like, listened to him, like, Discman nonstop for the weekend. And then I came back to school the next day. I had this plan. I had, like, read the liner notes. I was going to drop a casual note about it, and I found out that weekend he had got together with this girl, Carrie, who was an actual model. Like, she was in Vogue and stuff, and he was a weird boy dating the model, and my life shattered. That was my Under the Red Hood moment. I went acid, and then it was just me and my Korn albums, and I was like, yeah, this is it.
Life is peachy.
It was like so serendipitous.
I found them. I found them later, but they were the first. They were literally the first thing I found the night that I found out you could stay up, like watching just music videos on MTV.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you stayed up till like 2 a.m., they would play actual like music videos like it wasn't just like TRL. It was just an array of it. And so I was staying up and I saw like a video for, I think like Here to Stay is the song, or I don't know. I remember just, I couldn't believe how heavy the riff was.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe how strange but actually kind of appropriate the singing was.
Well, and that's my complaint about this album is that I'm not getting the same kind of heaviness.
It's not heavy.
Or funky.
This is not a heavy album.
Can I just respond to one thing, which is the TRL thing, which is my first memory of Korn is their epic battle against Britney Spears for control of the TRL top spot.
Oh, fun. That's
Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, I do remember
when
that.
Freak on a Leash was like the big single for them, and it was like that versus Hit Me Baby One More Time versus Genie in a Bottle.
Yeah, and Korn
Those
was
were
like...
the three things, and Korn was like, yo, but like, wouldn't it be funny if we were number one? And then everyone was like, yes, it would. I'm calling TRL, or however it was that you voted back then.
You called.
Mail-in ballot. Well, make sure that, guys, if you're listening, register to vote. Your vote matters. You have to vote for Korn on TRL.
All right. Well, Drew, you had no prior experience with Korn, and this is a weird first introduction because Korn invented nu metal. That's their genre.
Yeah.
They came in and they were like, we're gonna do metal, but it's simple structure and it's about emotion instead. It's about the emotion of the song as opposed to the technicality of the song. And this is the album you heard, and it's almost not heavy at all.
Okay, so elephant in the room. I have never listened to Korn.
Which I still don't believe.
I mean, I might have heard them in the
By
background,
happenstance.
but I
You
wouldn't.
for sure heard them by happenstance.
Well, okay, so but that doesn't count because
Right.
you've probably walked down the street from a celebrity and you wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I remember on that corner of the street I saw Danny DeVito eating cob on the corn on the cob. This is a shitty point, but what? I don't know, man. I'm trashed. No, I never had the CDs. I didn't really have any friends that listened to Korn. Like I had friends that listened to Limp Bizkit, but I miss nu metal because nu metal came out. Like nu metal was peaked when I thought that AC/DC was the coolest band on the planet. So I didn't listen to any new music. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like I probably didn't listen to any like modern music until like 2002 or 2003, save the early 90s when I listened to Green Day and Gloria Estefan. But I fucking love Conga. That song rules. But I never listened to Korn. I literally have never heard Freak on a Leash on purpose, like to where I'd be like, oh, this is Freak on a Leash, until like a week ago, and my brother put it on in the car, ironically, and I was like, what is this? And he was like, this is Freak on a Leash. My brother's younger than me too. Mm-hmm. But I've never listened. Like the first time I was supposed to go to their what's their main album, the one with Freak on a Leash on it? What's that called?
That's Follow the Leader.
Follow the Leader. They did like a 20-year show of it, and I was supposed to like cover it for Vice. Like what
No,
it's
you
like.
were supposed to do I remember this. You were supposed to do the self-titled one.
Yeah, it's something.
You were gonna go. I'm gonna go to Korn and see that.
the first
Today
time
is-
I've ever heard.
Actually, today, as of recording this, is the 24th anniversary of the release of Korn self-titled.
Never forget. Yeah, but
Where were you when
Where were you?
when you
I was
first
at
heard
school.
clown?
I remember getting pulled into the gymnasium, and they would call kids out to the principal's office to let them know their parents had first heard Korn Untitled.
Some kid came to school late, and he was like, "Yeah, I heard Korn all on the radio," and I was like, "You're lying. That didn't happen."
That's not a real thing.
That's not a real
Korn
thing.
didn't release Korn self-titled.
No, but I never listened. I was supposed to go. Like the first time I was going to hear them was going to be at this place, this like concert, and I didn't. Vice got back to me like a week later. They were like, "Yeah, do it," and I was like, "Oh fuck, I didn't even go to the show."
Yeah,
So I just never listened to them. And then I listened to this, and I was like, "Where's all the Tim Allen noises?" That's like the only thing I know about Korn.
It's
Is that
true.
Yeah, there is no
Tim Allen
no Tim-
noises.
Where?
He stopped doing that after the third album.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That's the thing.
Well, because here's the thing: they are the Walter White of metal because their success was built on meth.
I was waiting to see where that went. I was like, "Is this a ball joke? What will this be?"
I don't know, but yeah, they didn't. It's weird that they are the most successful meth heads of all time. Is they're in.
I think there's some actors that would counter that, but yeah.
Really?
No, 'cause
Which
we're not talking about cocaine. We were talking about meth.
Meth.
People do meth.
The smokable kind.
Meth is meth. I mean, I didn't know. Look,
Yeah,
this is Resident.
show me the scene in Dark Knight where Heath Ledger's like,
Look, I know that I'm the resident straight edge dude here, but like I learned last year that apparently that two people do meth: rednecks and people who like to fuck. You either like riding a tractor or riding someone else if you're on meth.
But
Well, they like to do both of those things because they're from Bakersfield, California.
The worst place on earth.
Yeah.
Where is Bakersfield?
It's like an hour north of L.A.
Imagine California, but there's farms.
You know how like Austin is like a bastion of like progressive weirdness.
It's reverse
in Texas.
Austin.
Yeah, it's reverse. It's like it's this city of awfulness in the middle of beautiful California.
Yeah.
actually, I think people forget that a lot of California is awful. It's just people know about the nice places, but that's
Right.
not here nor there.
Anyway,
What's here
I
nor
would say
there?
argue about that with the Beach Boys.
All right.
Be true to your bit. So, yeah, I agree with Drew that, yes, you only know them for the monkey noises. But, yeah, in general, this doesn't sound like there's Korn elements, but parts of it sounded like they listened to MSI and they were like,
Yes,
let's
that's all I
do
could think of.
they're
What
like,
year did this come out?
2007. So
Yeah.
it is the height of Jimmy Urine, but like, a Diet Coke version where it's just like has no flavor.
It sounded like
Yeah.
slowed down MSI. It was like
Yeah.
MSI
Yeah.
played on a like a broken record player. It was weird.
Yeah, this is just was just them, like, they clearly heard some, like, Mike Patton Bjork shit, and then they tried to implement it into their music.
Well,
And make a more serious album that didn't involve having, like, guitars that sound like barrels being thrown down the street.
do you know who produced this album?
Who?
Or at least part of this album is The Matrix.
The movie?
No.
The guy.
That's what I thought. The movie. No, it's a group of people. It's a trio who are like, I guess
the
like,
Matrix trilogy.
yes.
Yeah. What about the Animatrix?
Doesn't count. Not canon.
Is it canon? I don't even know. No, but The Matrix is these three people who are like famous for having this like very long career in pop throughout like the late 90s, early 2000s. And this was like their big departure from their regularly scheduled programming, was to work with Korn on, I guess, the album before this one and then this one. And they fired him halfway through, so only half the songs on this album are produced by these people. But The Matrix are best known for producing Skater Boy and Complicated.
Which makes sense
yeah.
because, like, yeah, there was some stuff on here. I was like, this sounds like a Pink song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there
There's
was
shit on here that-
Love and Luxury or some shit. I was like, this is straight up a Pink song.
It just
and
sounds-
I wasn't mad about it, you guys.
I don't think it was bad, but it just, the whole album sounded like a baseball player just like swinging desperately for a home run.
At a hockey game.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to. I don't know. Every fucking Korn song sounds super desperate because he sings like
Because-
he's being sucked into the Mariana Trench.
Well,
Okay.
no, here's the other thing. Like, Korn, what do they mostly sing about is bullying. And, like,
Yeah.
that's
And-
where their best shit is. And so, like, they did the right thing and realized that they're adults and they can't sing about that anymore. But, like, what they decided to on this album, I don't fucking care for. First
Yeah, I
of
do
all,
not.
I don't need Korn to try and be smart. Please do not do that. The single off this album, Evolution, we don't need that.
Yeah, political
First of all,
Korn.
Pearl Jam already has a song. Was it Evolution, Baby? Like, what's the name of that song? Do you know?
Don't ask me about Pearl
It's
Jam.
good.
That's
It's
part
called
of the 90s.
It's a fun track. There's an animated music video to it that looks like Paul Dini went insane. But
Cool.
like, I don't need Korn like lecturing me about how people are getting dumber. Like, first of all, keep that eugenic shit away from me. Second of all, Diva already did it and it was better.
And third of all, Jonathan Davis, fucking glass houses, my dude.
Yeah, and
You
then,
do not look like the smartest dude in any room.
To be fair, what is this? A year after Rock Against Bush? 2, like
It's a few years now.
No, so you had Rock Against Bush.
4.
You had Green Day is the biggest thing with guitars in it. They're like, I guess we have to yell at America now.
But they're like so many years late because 04 is the re-election. So it's already they're at the tail end of Bush. Like we're almost out.
we have
Obama's
one-
already a name we know by the time this album comes out.
Wow, I didn't even think about it that way. That's crazy.
yeah.
And they're putting out this fucking music video with like monkey brains and shit.
Also, bitch, we got a problem. Bitch, we got a problem.
They named their tour after that.
But wait a minute,
Yeah.
hold
That's
on.
what they called the tour.
I will say I thought it was very cool of them to address the stigma of mental health and someone who has schizophrenia. Sure, they put it in a song called "Bitch, We Got a Problem," but I thought that was pretty cool.
Bitch, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Let's help.
Bitch, we got a problem. Bitch, we're here to help you.
Yeah.
Bitch, here are some affordable mental health clinics.
Yeah, but I agree with all of this. I was just surprised at, honestly, how listenable the album is. It's
Yeah.
I saw a song called Bitch, We Got a Problem. I was ready. I was avoiding listening to this album because of the title of that song. I was like, this is going to be a chore. This is the worst Korn album. And every Korn song is what, I don't know, 4 notes? There's some shit on here that isn't, I actually don't think that there is a bad song on here. And you can fucking come for me for that, but I think every song works.
I know that you want us to beat you up, but I think we're all too tired and just like it's fine. I don't know. It's like I can't.
I disagree. I think because I'm surprised you're saying this as someone who loved them as a kid. Like, I'm not saying like Korn is fucking untouchable. It's like whatever.
They
but
have an album called Untouchable.
I know I'm very smart and funny. Higher.
It's about their
It
dreads.
was intentional.
But like. There's no element of why that band is fun in this album. There's no like funky bass slapping shit. It's not heavy.
Yeah.
There's no weird scatting. There's no it's just
Which
totally
guys-
generic
Sorry.
personality-less new metal, which fine is listenable compared to some of the garbage you waterboarded me with on this. But
Not torture.
I just fucking I don't know, man. I just couldn't get into it even a little bit.
But which guy is?
Yeah.
I got into one. There's one song specifically where I was like, all right, this was fucking kind of sick. It's one where it just has a slow descending riff at the end, and then it just he starts doing a Cannibal Corpse scream out of nowhere.
Oh, I don't care for that.
Really?
I know exactly which one you're talking about, and that's the one where I'm like, what the fuck?
Wait, what do you mean?
Who do you think you are, Jonathan Davis?
To be honest, I listened to it and I was like, good for it. The range in his ability to do that is fucking crazy. I guess I was going into this with such low expectations.
Yeah.
That I was raised up. I couldn't believe that he was singing hooks that didn't make me want to die. Every album we listen to on this podcast, there is a hook that is just nails on a chalkboard for me. There was nothing on here that made me actually upset.
Well, I think that speaks to the involvement of the Matrix. I think that's what it is. I think this was overseen by professionals whose whole job is to make #1 mega hits.
I know that you are referencing the production company, The Matrix, but I also know you well enough that you could possibly believe that The Matrix is real and you're complaining that we live in a simulation.
Well, I will also say, yes, that there is something to be said for the fact that, yes, we do live in a computer simulation, and that a part of creating a world in which we accept what is handed to us by the simulation is a world in which Korn is still relevant. I think that's a fair point.
But they weren't relevant. So
But
that's
they were
a feature
still.
whole.
2007 was close enough to when they were relevant that this album, the one before this one, sold big, and this one didn't sell too bad either.
Well, they never sold bad because they are.
Well, they sell bad now for sure. That dubstep one sold like dog shit. And then fucking Unplugged. Who even watched that?
Who's Monkey? Which one is Monkey?
Monkey's the
guitarist,
bassist, right?
No, Fieldley is the bassist.
Yeah.
You bought his book. How do you not know?
I
this?
bought both of their books.
They both.
Monkey has a book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they both became born again Christians.
Yeah, but
Are you
only
there,
one
God?
of them-
It's me, Monkey. From the band Korn, with a K and a backwards R.
No, one of them is called "Got the Life" and the other one is called.
Of course it is.
The other one's called
that's the-
"Wake Me Up," which isn't even their song.
I think you have to do the Lucie thing where you listen to like.
I did.
Korn.
On the way here, I listened to more Korn.
Did you listen to like
What'd
Life
you
is
listen
Peachy?
to?
Yeah, I listened to Life is Peachy.
What did you think of that?
The
Because
same.
you like the Dillinger Escape Plan, and honestly, there's so much Dillinger Escape Plan in that album. It's crazy. It's just chaos and sometimes jazz.
Not well though. Like it's not. They didn't. It's not like as polished as Dillinger. Like Dillinger.
Wait, you think Dillinger is polished?
Yeah, because there's math to it. Like if I listen to enough of like the first two Dillinger albums, I can find the pattern. But I don't know. To me, like, and maybe it was just because I listened to it once. I literally listened to Korn for the first time today, and I listened to each song once. I couldn't follow the path. Like it was still a maze to me that I guess led to a dumpster full of methamphetamines. But I don't know. It didn't sound like anything to me. It just sounded. The only part that I liked was the Tarzan part where he's making all the grunties.
Grunties?
Yeah, because I was like, this is cool, and I think they're the only people that do this, other than maybe like Mudvayne, but not even.
Well, Korn invented it. Like that's
Yeah,
the
but
thing.
I think I've talked about this before. So if someone in the YouTube comments, I'm sure will call me out on this. But like, this is my first time listening to it, and I've heard everything ever that's been influenced by it. It's kind of like when you try to watch like Doctor Strangelove today, and you're like, oh, this
It's
is
like watching Halloween after you've seen a bunch of slasher movies. You can't appreciate it at all. It's
exactly.
impossible.
So I can't. It's really hard for me to appreciate Korn because to me, I'm just like, this is just like mindless self-indulgence with a lot of seltzer added to it.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
And I don't like
get
seltzer.
that. I came into this surprise, just like I might be the producer on it, but honestly, the parts that I liked were the parts that weren't poppy. Like they do a stupid ballad
I
on like the
hated
third
that.
song.
I hated the
I
ballad.
wanted to hate it, but I was like, there's parts of it like where like the drums are really heavy in the chorus for some reason. Like,
Is it the one with the bull riding video?
I don't know. I didn't watch any of the. You're the only one
You're
who
the
watches
only one
the
that
music videos.
volunteers to
I
do
think
that.
the problem with
There's,
this.
Wait, hold on.
They had
It's
a music video that's like them riding bulls, and like the whole thing
Oh,
is
it's
like, you
Kiss.
gotta have the biggest balls to ride this bull.
So that it
Balls
hurts.
down.
Because if you have huge balls on the bull, it will hurt you and your balls. I think the problem with this podcast is that we listen to such like fucking bottom of the barrel dreck that when you hear something milquetoast, you're like, oh, this is good. Because like I didn't feel anything from this, but I'm not like I don't hate this either. It's just like
Yeah, I guess that's my whole thing is like I don't hate this album.
Yeah.
In terms of all the garbage you guys made me listen to, it's fine. I just can't let it go that compared to other Korn albums, it's just like what the fuck is this?
One of the first things I ever did in music is I was making a video documentary that never came out, by the way. Because the label fired the band. I was making a video documentary for a hardcore band, and they were making a transition into being kind of like a radio rock band. And one of the tours they went on was with Korn. So they were
Weird.
going on tour with Korn and Mudvayne. I remember when they announced that they were doing that, I was like, this is going to be hilarious. Because Korn is ridiculous, and I remember I really wanted to watch like Korn and see them do the bagpipe stuff, like ironically.
Okay.
And I was like, this is going to be hilarious. They're going to be really old. They started to play. Singer Jonathan was like running and like using the oxygen tank, like that old singer thing. But otherwise, honestly, I watched it. They whipped ass. It was weird. I don't
not
want
weird.
to like.
It's not weird.
is-
It's because they rule.
Dude, they are a band I don't want to like. They are called Korn. They are Why are they called that?
Why
They
is
are
the
white
R
men-
backwards?
They are
'Cause they
white
went to-
men with
That's
dreads.
cool.
They went to
None
Toys
of
R
them-
Us and were like, "Ooh, we'll buy that."
None of them have facial hair that touches completely, and
Yeah,
it bothers me. I fucking hate it.
I honestly I felt nothing from this album because I didn't listen to Korn, and having heard, I'm like, oh, okay. And I don't
Yeah.
I don't have anything that I can really say about this other than
Yeah.
I don't regret not listening to Korn. I think
Yeah,
I've
that's
lived
fair.
a full life. If I died tomorrow, I would not be like, should have listened to more Korn.
For next week, can you listen to Life is Peachy front to back?
Sure.
I'm just curious.
Yeah,
I want to see
totally.
because I genuinely think that album, even though it's literally written by a band called Korn, and their name is Korn, and
Yeah.
they spell it with a K, and it's also named after a vegetable, but they spell it wrong. I think you might actually have an
But that's
time.
the
Right.
thing about Korn is that everything that you can possibly say about Korn has been said. They're a band whose name is Korn. It's spelled with a K. There's a backwards R. The guy who sings in it is named Monkey. No, sorry, Monkey plays guitar in it. There was a guy named. It's just weird, and I've always been aware that it's weird. And it's almost like what do you say about that? It's almost like looking at Cannibal Holocaust and trying to come at it with an observable lens. You know everything. You know what corn tastes like without taking a bite out of it.
Well, I think it was.
I don't fucking know. Don't look
I
at
was
me like
about to
that.
say, you were just complaining about us being too introspective, and then you just poured your live journal
Well, if
out.
you-
on
That wasn't you think that was a personal thing? I think that was most people's opinion of Korn.
The whole point of Korn was that it is. It was that it is a band that's literally. It's the first album. The dude comes out and sings about bullying, his sexual assault. It's crazy.
Oh Jesus, I didn't know that. I also did no research whatsoever.
Oh yeah, no. Korn's whole thing
Yeah.
is that they are an anti-assault band.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
See, I always thought Korn was the Limp Bizkit thing, which is
No.
when I think of new metal, I think of just running up to a stranger's Mini Cooper and kicking in the windshield. You know?
No,
Korn is-
Korn was about being bullied and domestic abuse.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I wish I knew that before I shat on them for 30 years.
Yeah, no, they were powerful. They were the reason that I gravitated towards them so much is because of because listening to a dude sing the way that he sings, because he sings with a lot. Whatever you want to say about he looks like he looks like someone who works at a pirate themed restaurant but is a little too old to work there. That is
Wait, hold on. Tell me more about these pirate-themed restaurants.
I don't know. I just kind of want it to be real now.
Yeah, let's. You want to start a business?
But he looks like. Oh my god! I think his kid is named Pirate, but but
Pirate Davis.
That's just made up.
no, that's real. Google that.
I'm going to right now.
Google Pirate Davis. I hope they're knockoff Garfield
But
cartoons. Sorry.
his whole thing is why I was because I don't know. I grew up. I was a weird kid. I remember one day I was talking to my friend about Batman the Animated Series, and then I had a weird bully, I guess, too, who just bit me in the ear, and I was and then punched me in the head, and I was like, okay, I guess we're not allowed to like cartoons anymore.
Yeah.
And I was in first grade, and I remember just that, literally watching somebody just sing about their turmoil like that or write songs about it was cathartic. And
Yeah.
as a kid, when you're an angsty child, there's no that's just what you gravitate towards.
Well, let me ask you this then. Okay, so we're all about the same age. Korn came out about the same time that we were, we were not the most secure in our.
They came out, I think, when we were born.
Well, yeah, I don't mean that, but I mean they peaked when we were the most music sponges that we'll probably have ever been in our life, where it was we would take something in and we'd really appreciate it. A song about bullying would mean a lot to you when you're of that age where you're being bullied.
Right.
But I guess my thing is Korn is kind of oldies now. Korn is a thing that people will be man, I wish I saw Korn 20 years ago when they were first playing clubs and stuff. They're old music now. So what would someone young get out of Korn now?
Well, honestly, that's what I thought. I thought the same thing that you did, but I literally saw them when I went on that tour.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, this is 2009, but that's also 20 years after they've already been a band.
I thought you were going to say 20 years ago, and I was like, yeah, it feels like that.
It's almost 20 years. It's literally almost 20 years ago. But they were already
9 years ago.
What?
Which is
It's not.
No,
No,
oh,
he's
I
talking
meant
about
the band
when Korn
themselves.
Right.
came out.
The band themselves.
yeah.
No.
Jeremy's
2009 was 10 years.
Asperger's bell went off and was like, math is wrong.
Hi, excuse me, math?
But no, I saw them and I was like, it's good. I thought it was gonna be funny to watch this band who was like overly emotional do this stuff. They still fucking whip. They're still like they still can headbang really. He still sounds good when he sings.
Also,
it's because of the oxygen tank. Probably.
My mom is a child therapist, and she calls me up on the regs to tell me that children are listening to music that I was into as a child, which,
Yeah.
like, they are in therapy, so there's that. But,
That's good.
there's definitely, they definitely call it old people music now, which is
Yeah, it is.
complicated for me. But, there's definitely, I feel like, youths listening to Freak on a Leash and being like,
I feel
yeah.
like I feel like Katie's right. I feel like the youths have a lot to listen to it. I don't think that adults can get anything out of Korn because they're not for adults, really. I don't
Yeah.
think that they're not, because it's fucking weird. Like now, I remember I listened to some other stuff from them today, and I was like, I guess it's still good, but it's also just weird that it's this emotional. I guess like I'm detached,
Also,
and I don't want to
um,
be in touch with those feelings.
one of my best friends in Portland, for the second year in a row, put on this thing called Korn Con, as in CORN, which is a day of corn-based activities. And the night always ends with their Korn cover band, and it is always a sold out.
That is so goddamn funny. I want to go to that mainly for the cornbread.
Yeah, it's definitely there.
Hell yeah. Anything else?
Let's do favorite songs and then do Instagram comments.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess this is my favorite song was probably Starting Over, because that was like, it was the first Korn I've ever sat down to listen to, and I was like, this isn't that bad. It also wasn't I
Yeah.
expected it to be. So I don't know. I guess people really hate this album. I didn't feel it wasn't any worse to me than making a peanut butter sandwich when you wanted spaghetti. So from an Italian place, not from your kitchen. So yeah, Starting Over was kind of cool.
That's the best review of this album ever. It's just when you gotta eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I despite it being fucked up and bad, Bitch We Got a Problem is kind of a good song. And I also really like the intro. Like that weird little intro they do, the instrumental thing where it's just like, this is like the intro to American Horror Story, but then Jonathan Davis like does his little jizz sound in the middle of it where he's like,
Yeah, I would actually say those first 3 songs is fun, like
Yeah.
in a row, and then the rest is kind of forgettable for me.
Yeah.
So
It's
the
yeah.
intro Starting Over and Bitch We Got a Problem, which like I hate that title, but Jeremy's not wrong. It was probably one of the
it's
catchiest
catchy
songs.
as hell. It's still in my head.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys because that was my main thing. Is like I was like, I'm surprised at how not bad this is, and then each time I expected the songs to be bad, and then they kind of weren't. I don't know. I'm gonna go with. I don't remember which song had the Cannibal Corpse ending, but I'm gonna go with that one.
Your favorite song was Another Artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I just remember being surprised. I was like, oh, this is heavy as shit.
Chris
For some reason.
Barnes tweeted at me the other day. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that.
That was really weird. I tweeted like a joke thing, like, what's your favorite band from Florida? And then it was like, I think it was Limp Bizkit, Poison the Well, and the Seattle Mariners. Clearly a bit. Clearly a bit. The Seattle Mariners are a baseball team from Seattle.
Yep.
And people responded to me telling me their favorite bands from Florida as if it wasn't a bit. And someone tweeted at Chris Barnes, and he was just like, I'm surprised 6 Feet Under isn't on here. And he's just like, I never considered us a Florida band, but that's pretty cool to be recognized. And I was like, what do you think about the Seattle Mariners? And he didn't respond. I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't seem to be any fun. but
Turns out he doesn't understand bits.
He's no Spider One, that's for sure.
I don't know why. Yeah, anybody who gets tagged in our post just wants to be grumpy and then have no fun.
Yeah.
which is why we've reviewed them on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, we are incredibly mean to everybody on this podcast.
Guys, if you're listening at home, what's your favorite California band? Is it A, the Beach Boys, or B, the planet Mars? I don't know. Tweet at me like I give a shit.
You got some comments there, Jer Bear?
Yes, here's some Instagram comments. User SmackGyver says, "This belongs here. I am so excited. Loved this piece of garbage when it came out because I was a fanboy." Spelled with an I.
Not a
Fanboy,
skater
like
boy.
B-O-I, yeah.
I'm going to say see you later, boy.
Yeah. Tell him, Katie.
Ooh, our friend Pete Angelo says, "Were kids mean to you in middle school and your parents don't get it? Korn. Teen angst for 40 years.
He ain't wrong.
Accurate. He gets it.
He ain't wrong.
Ooh. Couple people saying what I am thinking. Alexo505. So the dubstep album next month. The Stormmaster was expecting the Path of Totality instead, but hey, why not do both?
I mean,
of course we have to do the dub.
Yeah,
We're of course doing
I
the
agree with
dubstep
you
album.
guys. I wanted to do the dubstep album or Korn Unplugged. I think those are both very funny. Bumper Smash. I wasn't sure how to express my excitement for this, but the emoji bar knew, and then it's 10 emojis.
What are they?
yeah, you have to read them.
Oh, heart, hands up, fire, clap, tear, hard eyes, shock face, tear eye, laugh.
Yeah.
Those are the Korn lyrics that I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Jeremy,
That's the lyrics for Twist.
Oh, you know what we never talked about is the cover art for this.
Oh, God.
We do have to talk about
Looks
that.
like some
Insane.
fucking American Horror Story bullshit.
No, that's
but-
some steampunk. That's a steampunk DuckTales character.
Yeah, user Grastronaut says, looks like steampunk fart rock.
What is fart rock?
I think I love it.
I think I
Whatever
love
it
it
is,
too.
I like it.
That's what I want.
But that's
the music I
they're-
like.
These guys in their artwork, their like famous album is like a spooky doll, and this one is like, what if it was a plague doctor drawn out of meatballs?
It's a girl doing hopscotch, but at the end of the hopscotch, it's a cliff.
Oh no!
It's pretty deep.
But luckily, she'll stop beforehand because she's not Wile E. Coyote. Katie just rolled her eyes into the sun at me.
Ephemeris12 says, I really enjoy this album. Didn't know people consider this a bad album. Enough for you guys to make a podcast about it. This should be intriguing to hear.
That guy is woke now.
I'm sorry that we're ruining. Please have fun still. Please live your life.
Yeah. Is that the end of the comments?
That's the end of the comments.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, this should have been. I wish this album was crazier, you guys. I wish that this was a fucking train wreck. It isn't.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, it's just whatever. It's
why
fine.
is it? I think we're just gonna not listen to internet critique anymore when
Yeah.
we're deciding.
Yeah, I think
albums.
this was a case of bad intel.
Yeah.
I think
What
this
the
was like
fuck?
we
Why-
got like some weird list where some guy had a grudge about this album where he's like, yo, you know
He put
what?
this before Path of Totality, which has to be crazy.
It is crazier. I've listened to it. It's way worse. Like it's 100 times worse than this.
Who's Korn's mortal enemy that would have voted in our Twitter poll too many times?
Dave Mustaine?
What do you mean I have to make a new Twitter account to vote?
He's like the Doctor Doom of this universe. He's kind of everyone's arch nemesis.
Oh my god.
Oh, you know who we've never brought up on this podcast when we were talking about like new metal Godfather or like new metal people who are good? The Deftones.
Yeah, I mean they're in a whole different class though.
Well,
I don't
new
know-
metal. They're the good. They're the only good new metal band. It's
System of a
actually
Down are
good.
the only good new metal band. I don't know anything about the Deftones except for one thing which I read in a Fender magazine once.
Okay.
Which was that their bassist was like, I love P basses because I one time threw my P bass across the stage and I threw it and it hit a monitor and it bounced off of it. I picked it up and I started playing it. It was still in tune. That's why I play P bass.
Okay, well, a real comment is that Jordan is right that the Deftones are technically new metal and they're actually a great band. I do also love System of a Down though, so they're my runners up, which works well for them because they need something to be upset about.
System of a Down is weird, and I think I just haven't listened to it.
I don't think it holds up.
Probably not.
It definitely does. I listened to.
Yeah,
it
I listened to
all the
it
time.
like last week. And I'm not edgelording.
No, I believe you. You don't have to be an edgelord to like System of a Down unless you're 13.
I think it's one of those. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. Like a new metal band, you just look like a different type of Disney bad guy. Like Korn just looks like a bunch of Peter Pan pirates. System of a Down all look like Jafar because of their beards, not a race thing, just the beards.
Save it for a different podcast.
Okay.
System of a Down on Conan O'Brien is really cool, though. That video came up on my... Let's save it for a different podcast.
Anyway, Korn. It's a band.
It's
And
a fruit.
vegetable.
It's a,
A fruit?
state of mind.
I don't know.
It's a.
I don't
grain.
fuck. Do I look like I eat
Corn
green
is a
things?
Grain.
That is not true.
It is.
It's
I
a
vegetable.
vegetable.
I
It's not a
swallow.
vegetable.
I swallow my gum. I don't know
Look it
shit
up.
about
I'm looking
fuck.
it up.
Google
right
it.
now.
Is corn a vegetable?
Is corn. Okay. Corn a.
Folks, if you think corn's a
Vegetable.
vegetable, call 1-800-PISS-PISS-FUCK-SHIT-PISS-FUCK. Tits, fuck, dick.
Corn seed is actually a vegetable, a grain, and a fruit.
Ha!
So
We're all right.
And
What?
also all
Great.
wrong by osmosis.
We're all right. Plugs, everybody.
All right, yeah, plugs. Go for it, Germ.
You can find me on Twitter at Jeremy Thunder. Check out Ballin' Out Super and check us out at Fest. We're gonna be there. Fucking come see us.
yeah, my name is Katie. You can find me at Twitter at Katie Rose. Why could I not remember that? It's literally my name. At Katie Rose on Twitter. At hello Katie Rose on Instagram. Listen to Ballin' Out Super. More plugs.
Hey, this is Drew. You can add me on Twitter at Diet Hellboy. Tell me your favorite bands from Florida, and I'll fucking mute you. Also, you can add me on Instagram at Drew Kaufman Photography if you like photos of Japan and shit. I don't know. Fuck
He's
me.
a very
What
good
the
photographer.
fuck is happening?
I'm so tired. I'm sorry. Hey, this is Drew Kaufman. You can find me on Twitter at... No, you know what? I liked what I said. I'm keeping it.
Yeah, come see us at Fest. Our guests are Masked Intruder and also Effie, the Fest champion. He's one of the funniest people I've ever met.
He's a wrestler.
He's a
People might not
wrestler?
know what that is.
It'd be weird if you were the Fest champion of anything else.
Getting drunk in a pool.
Yeah. I'm the Fest champion of throwing up vegan hot dogs in front of your door.
I thought you said daughter in front of your daughter.
If there's a belt for that, I plan to win it while we're there.
Hell yeah. But no, it's going to be a really fun show. We are at the Woolly at 7:45. Our house band is going to be War on Women. It's going to be just a fucking bonanza of a show, but like we've never had this many guests before. But we're going to make it work, and you're going to have a great time.
Masked
So please, come
Intruders
check-
slap butts. They rule.
They're the funniest band on the planet, and also adorable music. Follow me at Mr. Jordan Olds. Follow my dog on Instagram at Grant Hambino. All right, I guess it's turn your R backwards. Bye, everybody.
Bye.